Hello everyone, my name is Beansprout, and a question that I've had for quite a while is whether or not the original Doom game was meant to be a horror game, or if it wasn't. Doom already has quite a lot of horror themes present in the series, but the original games have a certain vibe to them, as if they weren't meant to be what we think they are. Nowadays we play Doom as a fast-paced FPS game, and while that's definitely the most fun way to play it, I think that these games weren't originally intended to be that. Most of the reasoning behind my theory is that Doom 3, which was developed by a decent amount of staff from the original games, was in fact a horror game, or at least it tried to be. And don't take that as a dig towards Doom 3, I love Doom 3, so stop the hate. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I feel is pretty similar between Doom 3 and the classic Doom games, and I feel that if it weren't for technical limitations, a similar game to Doom 3 is what we would have gotten back in 1993. Even the segments in the original Doom where they cut out the lights and ambush you with enemies seem like something that would be done in Doom 3. It feels like Doom 3 was really trying to show us what id Software's vision for the original Doom game was. Although you could always make the argument that Doom 3 misunderstood the point of Doom, and that it was never meant to be a horror game at all, but instead it was meant to be more like something such as Doom 2016, which, while still including a lot of horror themes in it, is not really a horror game and is more of a sci-fi action game. Or you could even have the point of view that Doom 1993 was intended to be a horror game, but the developers decided to switch it up with the second game and attempt to make it much more action focused, which would explain the wealth of large open areas and tons of enemies present. This idea that the classic Doom games were meant to be horror games has been on my mind for an extremely long time, and I feel like I won't ever get to know the proper answer to this question. I mean, I tried googling it to see if I could find an actual answer for this, but I didn't really find much that counts. Although I did find this. It says, quote, "So yes, Doom 1993 used to be seen as a horror game, because back then, the definition of what a horror game was differed from the one that many fans of the genre use these days." End quote. Now, I guess this would make sense, but the question is not whether it was seen as a horror game, but instead if it was intended to be a horror game by the developers in the first place. So again, I feel like this is not a question that I'll ever get an answer to. But what do you think? Do you think classic Doom was meant to be a horror game, or do you think otherwise? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. While you're there, I recommend liking this video and subscribing to the channel to help grow the discussion to more of the Doom community. I also have a Discord server, so if you'd like to talk about this topic with others, then I'd recommend joining that. Link in the description. I also recommend checking out my merch store, as it's a great way to support the channel, me, and the production of new videos such as this one. If you want to watch more content from me, you can click on my latest video on the left, or you could click on my video on the cancelled Doom 4 on the right. But now that that is all on the way, thank you for watching, and as always, have a nice day.